Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling. I am going to be turning today's project into a French country Shabby Chic dream. This is Flippin' a Furniture Friday. I would like to thank my fellow co-host Zaina from OK at Home DIY. You're going to find the links to her channel and this fabulous playlist with some other great creators in my description box below. In a business arrangement, I received this old beat up beauty in exchange for doing something to this Finial. I am supposed to transform it into one of my one-of-a-kind Finial to fabulous jack-o'-lanterns. So you'll be seeing that soon as well. I have created another one, and the link to that video will be in the description box below. We need to get back on track. This video is about furniture. You can see how beat up and weather-worn she is. She has spent the last few years outside in a fabulous garden. But I feel she has potential and she is gonna be inside. We are gonna domesticate her and we're gonna change a few things about her and we're gonna paint her. Yeah, we are. You know we're gonna paint her. I'm going to add a door where that opening is in the front. We're gonna have to cut down that piece that's in the center section there that's acting as the bottom, but you can see all the storage room this little beauty's gonna give me. And I am going to take the lid and do something special with that as well. But it's time to get started. She needs a makeover, you guys. To make my door fit, I have to trim back this bottom piece and a couple taps with my rubber mallet, a little bit of shimmy and a shaking, and it comes right out. Everything I'm going to use to enhance this little table are going to be scraps. This is a scrap from another project, and it's going to get cut down and it's going to fit right inside that hole there. I'm also going to use a couple of other pieces to frame it out, to trim it out. It is going to be just like this. I don't want anything fancy because it would look out of place. So I just have some scraps of some flat stock and I'm going to trim it out. Now this guy is another scrap from another project and it is going to get ripped in half, just right in half, and then it's going to get cut to size and it is going to go down below to become two more slats, so it will create kind of a shelf type of situation at the bottom of my little table. Now that I have that bottom part loose, I need to just draw a straight edge where I want it ripped, because this thing has to be trimmed back or my door will not fit. Our board is warped, the piece that I just cut to size. So I am sanding the back side so it crowns, so that with time, by flipping it over, it will flatten out. Next, after sanding, we're going to give it a coat of paint. I've removed the lid and you get a good look at it. It is extraordinarily heavy. This lid is heavier than the entire piece by itself without the lid. And it has a crack. It has a fine crack in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it and clamp it. And then I will let it dry overnight. I'm giving it just a real light sanding because I don't want there to be any ridges in that crack that I glued. And then I'm going to give it a nice little wipe down and then we're going to paint. If you've seen some of my other projects, you know what color this is. This is Coffee House, the new white. I am in love with this color and I'm seriously thinking about painting the bedroom in this gorgeous coffee house color. It is a house paint and it is satin. I love to coordinate, coordinating more so than being matchy-matchy. And I have done coordinating pieces with this coffee house, and I will leave the links to those videos of those projects in my description box below so you can check those out. But I'm giving the entire top of this lid a coat, letting it dry, and then coming back with this second coat. Here are all 5 of my pieces of scrap. Scrap. I love keeping all my scraps. It's a mess in my garage, but I've got them just for this very reason. They've been cut to size and now I'm using my Tite Bond to glue them in place. And I will be using some clamps to make that happen. I am removing my clamps, and because I was using scraps, I have a little bit of a gap in the top here, and I am just going to fill it. We are going to mix up some of my quickwood and fill that gap. What you do is quickwood has two different colors. The exterior is like a light brown and the inside is kind of an off-white, and you mix the two together until it becomes one uniform color. Then it is ready to go, and then you have X amount of time to put it where you need it before it hardens up. So I've got it all mixed up, and I'm going to fill that gap and any other teeny tiny little gaps that need to be filled, and we'll let it harden. Voila, simple. While our quickwood dries, we paint the bottom of that piece that we trimmed to allow us room to be able to add that door. My quickwood is dry, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a sanding, and I'm going to probably take 5 here and take it outside and hit it with my electric sander, because I got super busy painting all that other stuff, and I let it sit a little too long. So off to the electric sander, and I'll be back. That did the trick, my good old electric sander, and now I get to paint this beautiful door front. This is Coffee House, as I stated before. Can you tell how much I love this color? So pretty, so pretty. So she's gonna get a coat of Coffee House, and I'm gonna let it dry, and I will hit it again. And I also, of course, have to hit the back side of this door. Check out this old beauty. You know I thrifted it. Yes, I did. And most people wouldn't even want it because the little nuts on the back are on there rusted so good they're never coming off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my Dremel, and I'm gonna remove those. And that's how we're gonna make it work, so we can still use this old drawer pull. She is gorgeous. Here she is post-surgery. You can see her little nubbins. And what I'll do is I'm actually gonna drill some holes, just 2 holes, not all the way through, and glue her in place. Now, these I have from a piece of furniture that I disassembled. I always keep everything. You should always keep everything. And I am going to put 2 of these little magnet closures on my door front instead of hinges. I opted to use these magnet closures instead of hinges because of how old this piece is. Those panels that I would have to put hinges onto on the inside are very uneven, and I thought this was a clever way of getting a door on the front of it without dealing with the hinge situation. These are so easy to use. All you have to do is screw these little magnets, these little plates, onto a surface, and then the corresponding magnet closure onto another surface, and boom, they will just draw together and connect. If you're dealing with a hard wood, you're gonna want to drill a pilot hole first. Here's my finished door front, and here is my 3-in-1 glue and my beautiful drawer pull with its little nubbins. So I am putting my 3-in-1 glue at all of the high spots and on those little nubbins, and then I'm just going to place it right inside those 2 little pre-drilled holes. Because this has to bear the pulling on it to open the door, I need to make sure this is on there really good, glued really good. So what I did is I clamped it in place with some cardboard to protect it, and then a piece of scrap wood. Now you can see what she looks like. Wait till you see this. It is so pretty. Isn't she pretty? And look at that. Ta-da! I did let it dry overnight. I was tempted. I was really tempted to look at it, but I was patient, and it's well worth the wait. So pretty. So I set the lid back on the top of my table, and I am just drawing with a pencil a line around the inside of that lid, mimicking the shape of that little space where the door is going to be. I did so because I am going to paint that little area that I just sketched out with chalk paint. And I'm not using a foam brush or a mini roller. I am going to use a paintbrush because back then, when this piece of furniture was made, they didn't have little rollers. So I'm going to keep it real. I'm keeping it authentic. And I'm just going to paint out this whole center section with chalk paint. My chalk paint is dry, and now I'm going to paint the entire perimeter in the coffee house. It will also need 2 coats, just like the chalk paint. Now the little cubby on the inside gets painted. I'm leaving the 2 flanking sides natural. I like the rustic look of it, and this is going to be painted coffee house as well. Then on to the exterior, and I get to paint that. So much painting. It's a good thing I like to paint. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to make you watch anymore, because which is more boring, watching paint dry or watching some random stranger paint? Both are pretty darn boring. My table's complete. A tiny bit of her former life is still shining through, but she's had her makeover, and now I want to share it with all of you. So this is where we started, and here's our final destination. Isn't she gorgeous? She turned out so pretty. I am so pleased. I love the color, as you know, and here you can see how well it blends with another one of those pieces that I made to coordinate with. Yes, so gorgeous. Look at the door. Look at the door we added, and it's inset, just a hair, so you can see it. It gives the whole piece more dimension. Here's the door off. There's our little magnets. There's our beautiful handle. So easy. This is easy, you guys. Absolutely lovely. And there's my hidden books inside. The door goes back on just as easy as it came off. And there's my shelf. What a pretty shelf. 3 simple slats now give us a shelf instead of a simple support between 2 sets of legs. The slats give me options. I can leave them just the slats. I can put baskets down there. I can put a tray down there. This is an old panel from one of the old doors that came out of my home. I could also put a piece of glass there if I chose. I am so pleased with it. I think we should take a look inside. Here you go. There's the little hidden compartment accessed through the lid instead of the door. And look at the lovely contrast between the painted wood and the natural wood. I am very happy I did not change this. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's my blackboard. I even added a clip from a clipboard onto the chalkboard. This beautiful table is going to allow me so much storage, an ability to stay a little more organized than what I am now. And I don't have to see it. It is all hidden away behind the door or under the lid. Thanks again to Zaina for joining me in this very first episode of Flippin' Furniture Fridays. You're going to find the links to her channel and this playlist in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with family and friends, anyone that likes refurbishing furniture, French country, and shabby chic decor, or interior design. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to check out my shop on Etsy. Ring the bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos. Leave me a comment. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support my channel. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.